on prototyping and linking with innovation ambassadors. It is my pleasure and honor to extend our heartiest welcome to our keynote speaker of today's session, an expert, Dr. Bhaskar Gupta, Sir, Dean, Academic IIMT College of Polytechnic, Greater Noida. Before we commence with today's program, I would like to present a brief description of IES College of Technology that has been in the field of education for the past 23 years. The most promising institute of Central India. I take pride to mention here that IES College of Technology Bhopal has been recognized as one of the top 100 best engineering college of India and second best in Madhya Pradesh in a survey conducted by India Today magazine. We are thankful to Engineer B. For their generous presence and who have always encouraged and motivated us by their never-ending hard work and foresight and vision for the education system. I would like to introduce our is a veteran academic academic at IIMT group of colleges, Greater Noida in 2020. Dr. Gupta completed his BE in 2001 and MTech with honors in 2006. While NIST and ARIA, he has been taking session on innovation, entrepreneurship, design thinking, IPR, BMC technology, readiness levels, critical thinking since last 10 years across the country. He is a startup founder also. So patents filed to copyrights in 2 books as an academic professional. So lots of achievements Dr. Gupta has. And definitely, I would like to say it's a privilege to have your presence in this session, sir. Definitely, a student will learn also, a student will present their poster and presentation also for the innovation, sir. So I would like to request to you.
Thank you, Dr. Sonu Lal, for such a nice introduction. And let me express my sincere gratitude to the management of IES University. And I'm glad to take session on prototyping and linkage with innovation ambassadors, which is one of the Q3 activities of Institution Innovation Council 4.0, Ministry of Education Innovation Cell. And this event is jointly organized by IES College of Technology and Foundation for Incubation and Entrepreneurship. So I officially welcome you all to this webinar and demonstration day about prototyping, which will really help students community in transforming and nurturing your innovative ideas into business opportunities into reality. As prototyping is one of the important stages of any design thinking process, which usually consisting of 5 important and prominent stages, which we have to implement for our business ventures, enterprises, startup ecosystem. So you see, any design thinking process always starts with the empathy, where we have to empathize with the end users, customers, in order to understand their wants and needs by giving the questionnaires, by undergoing online surveys, talking face to face. And based on that, we are going to define the problem statement, which must be genuine, which must have product feasibility. We have to check for technical feasibility, commercial viability too. Once you have defined the problem statement, you have to gradually move to the ideation. Ideation is one of the important steps which refers to the idea generation for the defined problem statement. Ideation can be done with the help of number of techniques available around us, not just brainstorming sessions. Prototyping is one of the ideation techniques in order to validate your idea feasibility, your technical viability, whether your idea is genuine or not, whether it is solvable. You have to understand your problem which you have identified must be solvable, and then you can develop some innovative solution for that identified problem by using ideation. Once ideation is over, you have to gradually move to the prototyping. So prototyping is the way in order to validate your proof of concept. And what is proof of concept? It is the idea feasibility, whether you can turn your idea into reality or not, whether your idea will function as we are going to envision. So whether it will function as envisioned. So you have to develop prototypes in order to validate your experimental proof of concept, whether it is acceptable in the market, whether customer will be paying for it or not. So you always keep trying to give value proposition, give value to your product or the service or the process or any newly developed technology which you want to commercialize for the revenue generation. Once the prototyping is there and prototype is developed by you, now you can undergo the testing and evaluation phase in order to test the prototype. And once prototype is okay, you can go for minimum viable product, MVP. MVP is a revised version of the original product which can be sold in the market for revenue generation. So once testing phase is over, you can think of launching your business into the market. So that is the design thinking principle which you have to implement as an owner of the business venture. Let me present my PPT. इसको एनहेंस कैसे करेंगे, ये देखना क्या नाम है, इसको बड़ा कैसे करें, इसका साइज जो है ये, हाँ ये स्क्रीन, ये वाली, ये कंट्रोल दबाना चाहिए। Is it visible, Dr. Sonu? सिर्फ ये है ना, ये पूरा स्क्रीन क्लिक करना पड़ेगा। So okay, is it visible? Would you please let me know? Hello, is it visible? Okay, so today's session is about linkage with innovation ambassador and how can we convert our prototypes into startups. So, IIC Institutions Innovation Council of Ministry of Education Innovation Cell has taken a target to train more than 5,000 faculties to develop mentoring skills on the above 4 themes by the end of 2020. That has already been completed by the Ministry of Education, and number of more than 5,000 faculty members have already been trained as in successful innovation ambassadors across the country in the different institutions IIC cell. The beneficiaries of these training programs will join the network as IIC Innovation Ambassador and will be performing the role of mentor in their respective IICs, not just in institute, but these innovation ambassadors will be extending their mentorship support to the outside IIC institutions as well. And it is compulsory for innovation ambassador to take 2 online sessions within our institute, within IIC where you belong to, and 2 sessions with outside institute. in order to promote the culture of innovation, incubation, entrepreneurship, intellectual property right, startup ecosystem across the country. So that's why I am requesting students always to nurture their ideas by using innovation. Considering the fact that Indian higher educational institutions are lacking in innovation and startup mentor capacity to guide students on intellectual property rights, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Institutions Innovation Council of Ministry of Education Innovation Cell aims to build mentorship capacity of IAC members through a series of training programs exclusively for faculty members, and the trained IIC members are then designated as IIC Innovation Ambassadors. So I am an innovation ambassador, and I have recently completed my advanced level training of innovation ambassador. So if you look at IIC MHRD's innovation cell has taken a target to train more than 5,000 faculties. Already more than 5,000 faculties have been trained. After completion of that kind of training of innovation ambassador training, and now reskill and upskill training is also included in the innovation ambassador portal. Now, once the advanced level training will be over, you can request your IIC cell members to undergo upskilling and reskilling based training through their innovation ambassador login portal. After completing this particular training, innovation ambassadors would have to complete various activities as suggested by IIC time to time. Innovation ambassadors will be given activities at regular intervals to create awareness, to inculcate entrepreneurial mindset, and to bring cognizance about startups, IPR, and the importance of innovation ecosystem, enablers, and facilitators among students and fellow faculty members. So innovation ambassadors have to work on 4 important themes as suggested by Ministry of Education Innovation Cell. It is about design thinking principles and innovations, IPR, intellectual property rights, and technology transfer. That is about licensing. Once your grant, patent has been granted, in that, after that, you can go for licensing and all that agreements. Pre-incubations and incubation management and incubation programs, entrepreneurship development program are the 4 important things on which the innovation ambassadors has to extend their mentorship support to the entrepreneurs who want to become successful entrepreneurs, who want to open their business, who are fed up with monotonous kind of job, 8 hours job. So if you look at the role of innovation ambassador in entrepreneurial ecosystem, it is about to perform, what is the role of mentor in IICs? To provide support to own IIC cell and other IIC cells outside the college as a resource person to spread the message of innovation and startups among the students and faculty members. I am a startup founder. I have founded my own startup in food services, which is running successfully. We have an incubator in my college, and under which more than 20 startups have been established. And these are in the primary stage, so in different sectors. Mostly the technology-based startups are there. Some, agro startups, and 2-3 are bio-related startups, and few are online-based startups. So you can open your clinic. I am an innovation ambassador. I have opened my clinic on my IIC Innovation Ambassador portal. I am available on Thursday and Friday. Normally 3 to 4, I am free during that slot. You can join me, you can request me for the mentorship support. I will help you out through my clinic, through my Innovation Ambassador Clinic. It is a kind of counseling session, time slot declared by me or Innovation Ambassador in order to mentor students of the universities, engineering colleges, and even faculty members. Once the completion of this activity, Innovation Ambassador is required to submit their reports. So once you have completed the sessions, your clinic sessions are over, mentorship sessions are over, we are supposed to upload that report on the Innovation Ambassador portal. I hope from your IIC cell, most of you will be undergoing the advanced level Innovation Ambassador training. I am working as a president of IIC cell in my group, and last time 10 faculties underwent the training, foundation level training of Innovation Ambassador, and this time around the same 10 faculties are undergoing advanced level, and the nominations were opened by ministry a couple of days back. So few new faculty members who joined as a council member, foundation level Innovation Ambassador training. So I hope you must have understood the concept of Innovation Ambassador. Here is my foundation level training certificate. So what is prototyping? It is very important to understand the concept of prototyping. Prototype validation comes in when you have determined what user problem you need to solve, but you haven't yet figured out how to solve it. It's a later stage of concept testing that allows you to evaluate how someone feels about a new product before you are going to release it into the market for commercialization. Creating a product is a very complex process. However, there is no point of starting the design and development works without validating your idea. It's the very first step for every new product idea. Without proper validation, you risk wasting time, materials, money on a product that doesn't stand a chance on the market. Building a prototype is one of the best ways to validate your product idea and the first step to creating a product that users will love. So how can you create a prototype to validate your idea? It could be any software-based prototype also. So what are prototypes? Before we dive into specific methods of how you can make a prototype and test it, let's first establish what prototyping actually is. Prototypes are used to capture concepts and ideas into tangible forms, physical model that can be tested. They are like sketches of the final product. Prototypes represent all the functionalities of the product without any of the additional visuals, branding, pictures, or illustrations. Prototypes can be of various different fidelity levels, from a simple sketch on a paper to a highly functional digital prototypes made using InVision or Figma softwares. Depending on the project stage and specific testing needs, you can use different levels of fidelity. For example, if you are just getting started with a new idea, so I would suggest to use low level of fidelity for your prototype. It should never be high fidelity level prototype. If you are having just idea, you are in infancy stage only. Why should I bother prototyping? From our experience, most companies don't really grasp what prototyping is so beneficial. For many, it seems like a waste of time. However, it truly is the fastest and cheapest way to test your product. So what are some key benefits of prototyping? You can minimize risk of your business. Prototyping early on will help you minimize risk. The sooner you are building your prototype, sooner you will be finding errors, you will be removing the errors, you will be making certain modifications in your product or service based on the testing of the prototype. So we have to bother about prototyping because it is going to reduce your business risk by removing the errors. You are going to test your ideas. Prototypes are a greater way of quickly testing your feature ideas. If you are creating even a simple paper prototype, no problem. You will be able to quickly test new concepts and get almost instant feedback from your team and target users. Prototypes are very helpful tools at every stage of the design process. It provides a sense of ownership. Prototype can create a sense of ownership within all the stakeholders, making it easier for them to get engaged with the project. If you have some sense that someone on the team is not that invested, presenting them with a prototype will be a good step towards creating an emotional bonding with the product. You can have better business pitch. When pitching your idea to angel investors, to someone outside the company or within your company, it's good to have a prototype at hand. People who will get to see and experience the product before they make a decision, which may greatly influence whether they decide to back you or not. After all, it's better to make decisions about something you can actually see and use than to decide on a completely imaginary product. Getting surprising insights. Some insights are impossible to come by without prototypes. What do I mean exactly? Well, when testing your prototype with the target users, you may come across insights that you would not otherwise have found. Things like accessibility issues or unexpected edge cases. Getting those insights during prototyping phase ahead of time and preparing for them before you launch the product into the market will definitely help you avoid costly mistakes and help make your product more user-friendly. Build prototypes to create better products. As you can see, there is a lot of benefits to prototyping, but perhaps the biggest one is this. Prototyping enables you and your team to build better products. And better products mean more satisfied users. And that leads to growth and increased revenue generation. So basically what every company wants, think of it this way. Investing in prototypes early on is much cheaper than paying to solve issues later during the last stages of the cycle. When the product has been launched, you will avoid a ton of unnecessary work by spending a bit more time on testing your ideas. Now that you are convinced that building prototypes is the way to go, let's get into how to create and test good prototypes. So if you look at the first step with prototyping, you dive into drawing actual prototypes. You should do some basic research on your business idea, get an overview of the market, know about your market. This way, you will be understanding about your competitors and your customers' needs. You will be able to direct your ideas into specific segments of the market and would be able to create a better prototype for the better product. Here is some questions you need to ask yourself and your team before you move on with the process. What are those questions? What problem will the product solve? First, ask yourself how your product will help the users. Without identifying how you will be able to help the target audience, you can't move on to designing the solution. Think about possible use cases. You might want to try creating a problem statement to get your product. What similar products are already available on the market? You have to understand it. Try to find competitive products that people are using now. Might have same kinds of features which your product has. Search not only within the same industry as your business, but also across other industries. You might find something that solves the same problem, but regarding a different target group. Who is the target user? What are their goals? You have to understand. The next thing you need to get to know is who are your target users? What do they really want and need? What are they looking for from your product? How will it integrate into their daily lives? How will they be using it? Don't get tangled with your own expectations. Try to really think outside the box and place yourself inside the user-like mindset. What type of product is it? With the target user and their goals in mind, think about what type of product you should make. Depending on the target audience, they may need it to work on different devices and platforms. For example, some age groups are more likely to use mobile devices, while others prefer using web devices. You need to know what you are actually making before starting to work on your first prototype. What are the goals for the prototyping process? The last thing to set before getting to work on your prototypes is the goals. Before you actually create the prototype, you need to have an idea of what you want them to achieve. Depending on your specific goals, you may want to create a higher or lower fidelity prototype. This will also determine whether you need to build a digital prototype or whether a simple paper one will be enough, or some physical model. After you have gathered the information and have an idea of what the product might look like, it's the time to get started with drawing your prototype on the paper with the help of the pen and sketches. Start with gathering your material and start sketching. If it's your first time designing a prototype, you might want to use a free templates available on the internet of the device you are designing for. You can make use of free design templates. There's a plenty of free device designs available online that you can download from there and draw on. It will make it easier for you to create something that's suited perfectly for a certain device. Sketch user flows. If you look at, it's important that your sketch will show the user flow of the product. Make sure to mark what happens when the user does a certain action. After you create a few screens, you will get a better idea of what's the overall shape of the product, and it will become easier to create a self-time. Although we tend to use prototypes for rapid testing, you don't have to rush the process if it is your first time drawing a prototype. When working with materials like pen and paper, you have the advantage of being able to experiment and try it out on various using different concepts. Don't get stressed when your prototype doesn't look good or looks messy. The point of a prototype is to explore different ideas and designs for free without the need to build an actual application. Handmade designs are different from digital ones. When working on a paper prototype, you will get a better idea of where content like pictures and illustrations fit into the design. However, you need to keep in mind that the size of your writing and drawings is not representative of digital designs, and therefore, when you decide to move on to a higher fidelity prototype, it may look different and you may have to change the length of your content, etc. So I would suggest to make use of little lower fidelity prototypes. So what are on the other side, what are high fidelity prototypes? After you have created paper prototypes, you are happy with, you can try to create. However, there is not always a need for high fidelity. Sometimes a sketch will be enough to use it during testing. Depending on your goals, you may be able to move on without a more complex digital prototype. What's also important to know is that higher fidelity prototypes are not that easy to make and are less cost effective than paper ones. Making digital prototypes is not that easy and usually requiring using online prototyping softwares like Adobe XD, Figma, or InVision, which are not that simple to get started with and do come at a cost. However, if your objective is to use a digital high fidelity prototype, here's what to focus on when creating one. So here we keep talking about low and high fidelity prototypes, but what does this actually mean? The fidelity of a prototype is determined by the complexity of it, meaning the level of interactivity, visual designs, and content. Depending on what you want to achieve with the prototype, you can opt for different levels of fidelity in your prototype design. However, you should keep in mind that the higher fidelity the prototype, the more it is going to cost to make it and the longer it will take. So try to avoid it. How to test your prototype? Now that you have a prototype ready, you can start testing it. How to do that? Well, the method of testing your prototype will be depending on what you look to achieve. For rapid testing, you might want to see if anyone in your environment matches the target audience and could take part into testing. If you want to get quantitative feedback, you might email the prototype you made with a questionnaire to people who fit into your target audience. However, if you want to get more specific qualitative feedback, you might want to consider conducting some interviews, face-to-face talk, or in-depth interviews. These interviews are one-on-one meetings when you sit down with the user and ask them to use your prototype in your premises, perform specific tasks, and share their thoughts with you. Keep your objectives in mind. Remember, we have talked about objectives and goals earlier. Well, it is very important to keep them in mind when testing your prototype design. Don't rush into testing methods simply because they are quick or free. Think about the results they will provide and how those insights will benefit your product. Start small and don't waste time and money on extensive type of testing. After you start your test, gather the insights and improve your prototype design along the process. This ensures that by the end of the testing, you will have the most viable product that is likely to succeed on the market. If you need some expert help, if you feel so, you need expert help to validate your product idea, then approach experts for their help. You can approach me. I will definitely help you out. So how to build a prototype for a startup idea? Startup founders that have identified a real problem and created an innovative solution have a startup idea. They have a vision for disrupting industry, making life better, easier, quicker, or different by making that idea into a business. The startup idea often has a digital or technical element that needs creation. This can be a web application or a platform or some software-based solution. The challenge is figuring out how to build this software solution, especially if the founder has little or no technical expertise. There are several tools that founders can use to get started, including Bubble and Airtable. These are complemented by automation tools such as Zapier, Notion, and Typeform to move data from one place to another place. The no-code option takes some time for the founder to learn, however, may save some money in building the prototype. The final step for the prototyping is to use it to get customer feedback on the validity of the idea and prove there is demand before looking to further develop into a commercial solution. That's all from my side. Dr. Sonulal, it's over to you. And now we can request students to present their posters.
Sonula sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Now I request Mahi Zahara to share their presentation. Mahi Zahara.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay, buddy.
इसका ये स्क्रीन बड़ा कर सकते हो सर? क्या नाम है? हाँ सर, ठीक है, हो गया, it's okay.
My screen is visible.
Yes, yes, it is visible. It is quite visible and you are audible too. You can continue.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mahi Zara. I'm from IS College of Technology. We are here to present our idea, and the theme of our idea is agriculture, food tech, and rural development. The problem statement is a student innovation. The name of our topic, our idea is smart crop protection system. The idea is basically it will help and it is very useful for farmers as they grow crops many times and animal destroy the crops. And many times there are thieves as well and disturbing what is happening in the field. The farmer will come to know what is going on his field without going there, without going to see what is going on the field by just viewing on their mobile phone. And if there would be animals, farmer can use the buzzer and have a control of buzzer on his mobile phone. Basically, it is a hardware system, and the component, the main component required was PIC microcontroller. We have buzzer, GSM model, display crystal oscillator, resistor, transistor cable, and breadboard. And for connecting circuits, we have transformers, push button, and some sockets. For making that, software required is MATLAB and MC programming language, for example, C++. The objective of the idea is to protect the crop in farm area from animals by using IR sensor, detecting the animal while crossing by sensing the movement of animals by ultrasonic sensors and detecting the birds entering in the field. The system will continuously check for any animal entering inside the field with the help of IR sensor. The existing system exists. We have our proposed system. In existing system, it mainly provides a surveillance functionality. Also, the system does not provide protection from wild animals. They also need to take action based on the type of animals, as different methods are adopted to prevent different animals from entering such restricted area. Our proposed system, in the proposed crop monitoring system, is done by placing sensors and GSM module is used. While animals come near the IR sensor, it detects the animal movement. After getting that initial signal, the microcontroller will further process the system by activating immediately. It will as a APR board and sound, it will playing to divert animal at the same time. It makes a call to the owner simultaneously. Ultrasonic sensors is mounted on the motor and rotate to 360-degree angle. Throughout ultrasonic sensor detect the presence of birds in all directions. The working of the system is, this is a microcontroller based on using PIC family controller. The system uses a motion sensor to detect wild animals approaching near the field. In such cases, the sensor signals the microcontroller to take action. The microcontroller now sounds as an alarm to go the animals away from the field, as well as send SMS to the farmer so that may know about the issues and come to spot in case of animal don't turn into an alarm. This ensures completely safely crop from animals, thus protecting farmer losses. So this was our idea and our proposed system and working of our idea. Our team involves 6 members, me, my my members from my classmate Akash Kumar Singh, Mohammad Shahrukh, Shoaib Akhtar Rahmani, and Naveen. Our mentor is Neha Srivastav ma'am, faculty of our department, Electronics and Communication. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mahi, Zahara, I do have one question.
Yes, sir.
See, is your prototype ready?
No, sir. We have just presented an idea. We are not ready with our prototype.
Okay, have you really undergone the survey? Whether I think this kind of product is already present in the market.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That system already present, but the proposed system we have implemented there. This
Oh,
system.
then what would be the benefit if you want to incorporate your business venture or startup and you are developing a prototype for this already existing product, then later on you cannot launch it into the market. So that's why I have shared. So have you tried to add some extra features
Yes,
in
sir.
this product different from the
Yes, sir.
already existing products?
Yes, sir. In existing system, there was not connection with the mobile phone, like giving message to the user through API. This was not there.
Okay, are you sure?
Yes, sir. Because we have gone through that data, this was not there.
Mhm. So have you incorporated your startup? Do you have any startup right now?
No.
Okay, so once you get your prototype ready, test it with the end users, right?
Yes, sir.
And take the feedback from the customer, from the end users about your product. In fact, you can conduct the test in your institute itself. So take the feedback from your students, from your friends, faculty members, and based on that, you make certain changes you would have to make in your product. And
Okay,
then
sir.
you can develop the original product which you want to launch into the market.
Okay,
Right?
sir.
I hope you must have understood.
Yes, sir. I got your
Do
point.
that. And
Yes, sir.
I think then after that, you can plan to have some startup and you can register your company as a private limited. Lawyers are there sitting around. So you can approach any lawyer firm from where you can get the support for
Okay, sir.
registering your company or for getting MSME Udhyam registration. So that then you can go for Startup India support, financial support.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mahi. Now I request Gaurav Yadav. Please start this.
सर पानी को रिमूव
चलो बेटा ये तो है
sir, is it visible?
Yes,
Hello?
it's visible. Gaurav, you can start.
Okay, sir. It is my idea to develop an app. Its name is Undercover. And how does it work and what is it's going to be work? Let's see. Firstly, let's see the problem statement for this. So generally we lost our cell phones or our cell phones get stolen by someone. And it is, I think it is a major issue because more than 4,44,000 of handsets are stolen in each year. And only 3% register their FIRs, but still they can't get back their phone, and the recovery ratio is very less. And as we all know, security is a major thing that our phone can reveal through. So here is my solution. I want to develop an app that can send location while it is going to be switched off. Basically, when a phone is stolen or it is going to be switched off by this thief, because he thought that the phone can be traced by the police easily. So the first thing he do is the switching off the phone. So the app can before going to shut down, the app can trace exact location, pinpoint location, and send it to the user email. And with the location, it will click the photograph from the front camera. And some company like Samsung, Xiaomi are also embedding their fingerprint in the power button. So if possible, and it is embedded in the power button, the app will capture the fingerprint also, and it will be converted into binary codes of the computer and sent to the user's email. The advantage the user will get is the user will get the photograph, and he will also get the fingerprint of the thief. And I think if the police can easily track the thief. So thank you. That's all. Or
Okay, Gaurav, what I have understood, you are going to develop an online app
yes,
in
sir.
order to avoid such cases when mobile is stolen somewhere in the train or somewhere else.
Yes,
So,
sir.
is it a new concept?
Yes, sir. Capturing a fingerprint and clicking a photo just before the Android is shutting down. I think it is a new concept because I didn't find any app in the Play Store that works like
No,
this.
you have which feature you have added, which was not present earlier,
Fingerprint, capturing fingerprint,
and taking photograph
taking photography. I think it is available. I think
is there already.
Look Watch is the app that use
So
this feature. But,
fingerprint has been added as a new feature.
yes, sir. But one thing more, if someone is tried to unlocking that phone by using wrong password, then only the current app will capture the photograph in the that app. But in my app, when the thief is going to shut down the phone, then it will capture.
During the shutdown, the
Shut
photo
down.
will be captured from the front camera.
Yes, sir.
So what is how much work you have done in this? And have you completed some work?
Yes, sir. Only a little bit of the work is completed. I have added an intent of camera, and the major problem is that I cannot overload that function, switch off function, because I think it is restricted by the Android developer team. So I am looking to add some solution to this.
Which computer language you are using?
Sir, Android Java. Actually,
Android Java.
yes, sir.
So once this app, and how many days you would be able to develop the app?
Sir, it depends on the solution that I get. I think it will take 2 months. It is not an so heavy app. It can be developed easily, but only there are some obstruction that
This is your BTech student.
Yes, sir. I'm from
So
BTech
this is
Computer
your
Science.
BTech project, or
Yes.
you are doing it separately?
I'm doing it separately, sir.
The BTech project is different from this.
Yes, sir.
How many team members? You are alone in this?
Sir, there are 3 team members.
3 team members. Okay. Are you planning to commercialize it?
Yes,
This
sir.
app?
We can commercialize it.
Yes, yes. So I hope you must have heard me. So you have to work. So you
Yes, sir.
develop your app prototype first,
Yes,
and
sir.
then validate your idea. Do take feedback from the end users, empathize with them, because your startup success or business success depends on the customer. So before you launch your product into the market, I am highly impressed. See, this kind of app is really very much required these days. But take and gather feedback from the end users before you launch. And if you want any kind of help related to this online app development, I have already told you we are having one incubator in my college. And under this incubator, 20 to 30 startups are already there. So if you want to approach me, I will share my number with Dr. Sonu Lal. So you can call me anytime and we can provide you some assistance, financial assistance, if we find your idea innovative and creative. So, okay. So thank you very much, Gaurav.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Gaurav. Now I call Vishal Singh present the presentation.
Sir, I am unable to share.
Yes, you are audible, Vishal Singh.
Sir, I am unable to share my file.
Okay, so
Okay, Vishal. Now
Sir, I can
request-
send it to you, sir. You can say it.
You can send it to the organizers and they may share from their
Okay.
side.
Okay, now I request Ritik Yadav to share their screen. Ritik
Good
Yadav.
afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are very well audible.
Sir, now I'm sharing my screen. Sir, I am Ritik Yadav from EC department from IES College of Technology. So here is my idea. Smart power tile. Sir, the approach of idea is a smart device which can produce power by just passing a vehicle on it, which can convert mechanical energy into electrical energy by the use of this innovation piezoelectric sensor. This project is designed to convert passing vehicle energy into electrical energy. It used to generate electricity by the passing, or we can say the mechanical energy through it. Sir, idea is to create a modern tile which we can fit in highly trafficked roads or speed breakers, the streets where the crowd is high, or and stairs of the buildings and etc. This is the circuit diagram of my idea, where the black box is the design of the tile. Here in the circuit we have used piezoelectric sensors, which is a type of transducer which convert electricity when a mechanical stress is applied on it. It to a sort of electrical energy. Then the piezoelectric sensor is connected to a circuit, a microprocessor unit, power supply unit, and storage unit. Once the power is generated, we will store this power in a battery unit. Afterwards, this power can be used for various purposes. The design of the tile will be somewhat like this. It's assembled in rectangular form because we will put piezoelectric sensors on the three corners of the rectangular tiles, the places where it can be used. It can be used in parks, corridors, stairs, and footpaths. It can be used in government building on the stairs. Can be used in schools, universities. It can be used in gyms, footpaths, and anywhere where crowd is high. Some precaution that should be taken while implementing these tiles depends on how many vehicles go through it. One disadvantage of this tiles is it will only produce electricity if some pressure is applied to it. If there is less crowd or less vehicle will go through it, it will produce less electricity. The temperature limitation of this structure will be 120 degrees Celsius, and the piezoelectric material which will be inside the tile is fabricable with 1000 degrees Celsius. So it is a rough and tough material. Power saving depends on power bank. So the power which will be produced will be depending on the batteries. So batteries should be of good qualities. Automation of the lights can be done through this. So here is our idea. Thank you, sir.
Okay, that's nice. So you are trying to develop some smart tiles in order to convert this mechanical energy into electrical energy.
Yes,
So
sir.
have you undergone do you have some innovative business model? If you want later on, if you will be planning to commercialize, what kind of business plan you have studied about if you want to commercialize your product?
Sir, we
Because
can go
first you
for,
will be developing the prototype for it.
yes, sir. First, we will develop the
What kind
tile.
of
Then we,
business model
sir, once we develop the prototype, we can go for registration purposes, and we can share our idea with government and ask them for support, or
no,
we can go.
directly after the prototyping, you cannot register your company. So those are your customers. So I am asking,
Yes,
have
sir.
you planned anything about your market segment? Where will you approach for your product? You will be
No,
approaching government agencies, or who will be your customer for this?
Sir, basically government agency and big firms in the electric field who can develop it on a larger scale. We are
Okay,
going.
so have you developed this?
No, no, sir. We are on
Have you developed
ideal.
this product?
No, sir. We are currently on ideal stage. We are.
No, idea is innovative, but I think it might take a few more weeks in getting the product developed. What I am
Yes, sir.
suggesting, you note it down. You can download one business model canvas from
Yes, sir.
the internet.
Yes, sir.
You can note down. You can download business model canvas,
Yes, sir.
BMC. It's nine blocks are there in this canvas, and you fill it yourself for
Yes,
your
sir.
business, right?
Yes, sir.
And you can fill it those 9 blocks for your business, for your prototype, and then you will learn how can you can commercialize your product. So this is my suggestion to all the startup founders who are going to be the startup founder, to download the BMC design template from the Google. It is already available. Fill it yourself and then compare with the BMC of Oyo rooms is already available. Show is there, Ola, Uber, all BMCs are already available of these successful startups. And compare your BMC with their BMC. And according to that, try to remove and try to manipulate and try to change, after the comparison. So I think you would be able to succeed in that case. So you will learn about business model also,
Okay, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
All the best. You can go for prototyping and
Okay,
then empathize with your end users, test it with the local people, and then make an original product which you want to launch.
Yes,
And
sir.
download the BMC design template and fill it yourself.
Okay, sir.
And you can take my help too. You can get contact number of mine from Dr. Sonu Lal. You can contact me telephonically. I will tell you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Next.
Okay, thank you, Ritik. Now I call Prakash Kumar, EX department. Please share their screen. Prakash?
Yes, sir.
I think their network issue. Now I request Aditi Jain to start their screen. Aditi?
Good morning, sir. So Ritik is sharing my screen.
Okay. Ritik, please share the Aditi screen. Ritik. Hello, Ritik. Okay, I think some network issue. Vishal Singh, please unmute yourself. Okay, I just share the screen.
Okay, sir.
Sir, Ritik has shared screen. May I start it now?
Okay, okay. ठीक.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Aditi Jain from IS College. My project is Smart Goggle. Smart is especially for blind people. Problem is that provide a smart device to blind people which will gain the ability to read and use feature of a smartphone is become very difficult because they are unable to see, and the smartphone is basically in very vast use today. The next problem is that we can make call, search information, and many more things in this feature in Google Assistant. But the blind peoples cannot use these things. And the next problem is about Alexa. We are going to be use Alexa, but the blind peoples cannot, because here cannot able to show the mobile in which direction it can be put it up. But by creating the goggles of smart, we can help them to generate this by picking this three in a mixture and a breadboard. We can generate a smart goggles which can help the blind peoples to call any instructions, and the instruction get fetched to the smart connector, and the smart connector uses the input and giving the output to the blind people to respond upon them. Thank you, sir.
Vijay sir, one more PPT I have not to present.
Yes, sir. Two more PPT.
Please, sir.
So Aditi, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
What I was telling you, I think so many electronic eyes or goggles have been developed in the past for the blind people community. What is innovative in your product? Can you tell me any one feature?
Sir, innovative is that you can use this as a smartphone function as well.
How are you going to make it smart?
Sir, I am
How are
going
you
to.
going to make it smart?
Hello. Sir, I am actually joined with laptop. Can you, sir, make me the host,
Hmm.
please, sir?
Okay, Aditi, what will you do about the branding? Branding, you know, understand?
Yes, sir, branding, I know.
How will you do branding of your product? What would be your sales and marketing strategy? Tell me.
Sir, I am going to be finding that there are many digital smart goggles are there, but we are generating that goggle which are basically for blinds. But in many, we can edit something more features, and we can also generating for unblind peoples. So the marketing was going to be in that direction. Ki the goggle is favorable to blind people and non-blind people also.
Is your circuit ready? Everything you have worked out, electronic circuit, and or it is just an
Not yet,
idea?
sir. Sir, it is just an idea right now.
Okay, so you will be making use of Alexa also?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I asked one question, how will you do branding of your product? Tell me. Branding is the most important part of any startup. How will you do branding? Do you understand? Sales, marketing, how will you approach your customer? Who will be your customer? How will you come to know about your market segment? Would you be able to sell your product? Would you be
Sir,
able
I
to
could be
expand your...
sir, I
Huh?
could be able to sell this product by making by accepting more people together at me and taking their advices also. How do I sell this? I have a little bit, but making that ki some I if I getting everyone advice, it helps me a lot to how to advertise my product. If I'm going to sell it single alone, that was not making to be advertised successfully because everyone have their own specs. If I'm going to collaborate with everyone aspect, so I think that my product will be advertised successfully.
Yes. So what I would suggest for branding, you should keep, few team members from business background,
Yes,
those
sir.
who have completed BBA, MBA courses, so they can have more technical and marketing skills better than you, right? So if you
Yes,
will be
sir.
having a very strong team, and keep those people in your team who will be doing business activities for your product, and definitely your startup will go in right direction. I hope things are clear to you, and I have
Yes,
shared my number in the chat box. In case you feel you need my support, you can call me anytime. Right? Is it okay?
yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Aditi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Aditi. Now I request Vishal Singh, please unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Vishal, start your.
Good afternoon, sir. I Vishal Singh, a student of IS College of Technology, CSE, 5th sem. Sir, today I am discussing about my startup idea, which name is Networkifiers. Networkifiers, we named it Networkifiers because we are making a connection or a network with this servant, or we say that an employee, which are working day-to-day life in their country. In this, we are providing a service at doorstep. Just for example, to understand this, अगर हम लोग सर अगर किसी जगह पे शिफ्ट कर रहे होते हैं तो हम लोग को एक आदमी चाहिए होता है जो हम लोगों के सामान को शिफ्ट करने में हेल्प कर दे, या फिर अगर मान लीजिए हमारे पास कार है और हमारे पास ड्राइवर है, बट ड्राइवर का तबियत खराब है और हमें कहीं अर्जेंट जाना है, तो उस जगह पे सर हमें एक ड्राइवर की नीड होती है। तो सर हम कहीं पे ढूंढते हैं तो हमें टाइम लगता है और कॉस्ट का भी पता नहीं चलता है क्या प्राइस चल रहा है। तो सर उस जगह पे क्या करेंगे कि हम इस एप्लीकेशन पे सर्च करेंगे तो हमें जल्दी प्रोवाइड होगा। इस जगह पे सर हम लोग अपने एप्लीकेशन पे सारी सर्विसेज रख रहे हैं जो कि आपके डे टू डे लाइफ में नीड है। इसमें सर बेसिकली ये चीज है कि आपका जो लोकल मार्केट है वो भी कनेक्टेड होगा। अगर मान लीजिए आपके घर के जो नियर बाई चीज होंगे वो कनेक्टेड होंगे तो आपकी सर्विसेज और भी ज्यादा फास्ट होंगी। इससे पहले सर इस प्रोजेक्ट पे अर्बन कंपनी काम कर रही है, बट अर्बन कंपनी जो है वो लार्ज एरिया पे काम करती है, बट हम लोग की जो कंपनी होगी सर वो लार्ज एरिया पे तो काम करेगी, साथ में सर नियर बाई एरिया पे भी काम करेगी जो हमारे आसपास का चीज जगह हो। और इसका मार्केट स्ट्रेटजी ये होगा सर कि अगर कोई सर्विस प्रोवाइडर रजिस्टर करता है तो वो कुछ चार्ज पे करेंगे, और स्टार्टिंग में सर वो फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट होगा। इफ अगर कोई सर्विस लेता है तो उसका 10% ऑफ कॉस्ट हम लोग लेंगे। दैट्स ऑल सर फ्रॉम माय साइड, थैंक यू। इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन और एनी सजेशन सर यू मे गिव।
Bhaskar sir.
Actually, see, from what's the name? I actually my screen was
Sir, Vishal
Sir, the
Singh.
name is
static for some
Networkifiers.
time. Vishal Singh, yes, yes. Vishal, would you please let me know what kind of type of innovation you will use in your product? I give you
Sir,
3-4 types of innovation. See, tell me what is disruptive kind of innovation has been widely used by most of the startups across the country, where they have used some innovative business models or some new technology in order to disrupt the existing market. My question to you is, how will you disrupt the existing market with your innovation?
so we are connecting the local peoples in this local market. Just for example, sir,
Pardon?
my nearby market is not connected on the urban community. So we connect the local market on that sector
Hmm.
or on the applications.
Mhm.
So it will be the fastest application. The service will provide faster at my doorstep.
Mhm. Okay. So you mean to say you will use disruptive innovation, which is used by other unicorn startups like Ola, Uber, have used disruptive kind of innovation, or
Yes.
You would be able to connect, you will try to connect to the people in your nearby community, as you said.
Yes, sir.
So how much work you have completed so far about your this app?
So we are working on our coding part. Coding part is almost done, but some little bit things we have to add
Okay.
on it.
Okay. How will you commercialize it? How will you commercialize it? What is your planning?
So we can startingly share it as a free of cost, but when it comes in the market, after that we will
You will be
charge some,
selling it free of cost in the beginning.
just like as sir, we see
Am
that
I
in
audible?
the audible.
Hello,
Hello,
Vishal,
yes,
my
sir.
question to you will be selling it free of cost.
Sir, the registration process
Why?
is free of cost. Sir, in the starting phase, if you register on my platform, then it will be in the free of cost. But if you take any service from my application, then we will charge some money.
I think your voice is okay. Okay, just like you, huh? Like this, you will start.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all the best for your startup. I have shared my details in the chat box, and I will be sharing with Dr. Sonu Lal as well. And from him, all of you can get my mobile number, mail ID, and you can contact me in case you need any kind of assistance by my incubator in my own college. And Atal Incubation Center is also there. I am connected with them. I will try to help you out. In fact, if we find your idea creative and innovative, we will be presenting your idea in front of the incubation manager or other related members. Your idea will be screened out, will undergo screening process. If we find it suitable, we can offer you some working capital or some financial assistance too. But it must be innovative and very, very creative, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It's our pleasure to assist by you.
Okay, okay, welcome.
Thank you, sir and Vishal. Now I request Imran to share the screen. Imran Ahmed.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay.
I am sharing my screen, sir.
Good afternoon, Imran. You can now present. You are audible.
Imran, please share your screen. Unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. I am sharing my screen. Sir, I am not able to share my screen from mobile. May I present without screen?
Without a screen.
Okay, please explain the projects or your ideas to sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. My name is Imran Ahmad, a student of BTech, branch is Electrical and Electronics Engineering. And my idea is alcohol-based ignition system. Nowadays, you are looking at many accidents is happening around us. So you are making a project for avoiding accidents. Because the accident is happening after drinking of the driver and after drinking he is running the vehicle. So that's there we will use the MQ3 sensor. They will detect the alcohol that the driver have drunk or not. If the driver have drunk alcohol, then this MQ3 sensor will detect and it will convey the information through the microcontroller, and this microcontroller will be connected with the relay, and relay is work as a switch. If the limit of alcohol will get more percentage, then the switch will be off and the vehicle did not get started. And if the percentage of alcohol will get less, then the circuit will close and the vehicle will get started.
Anything else you want to share with us?
No, sir, it's all is my idea.
Okay, so that's a good idea. That way we can avoid, reckless driving by drunken drivers. And see, is it not there in the automobiles, vehicles? Is it not there right now? Is this kind of
I think it is not
facility?
present. I think
Huh?
it is not present. I think it is not present, sir, nowadays.
It is not present. So you are going to make use of this type of microcontroller, PIC,
Arduino.
Arduino.
Yes, sir.
Okay, why not Raspberry Pi? That is the advanced version.
Sir, I do not know about that.
Okay, so how much work you have completed about this project?
Only you have gathered the equipment which is required for doing this.
You have got all the electronic items required for your project.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how many team members are there in your project?
There are 5 team members in my project.
Are you planning to open your startup?
Yes, sir, you are planning.
Once you graduate from here, from your IES college, so the question is, how will you, have prototyping when you will be doing? How prototype will help you? First, you have to develop the prototype of the product because this is a physical product.
Yes, sir.
How will you do testing
We
once your
will-
prototype is ready?
Okay, we will use it in the vehicle and we will drink alcohol and we will say to start this vehicle. If the vehicle will not start, this type of we will test my project.
Okay. Idea is good and innovative. So who will be your customer for it?
What, sir?
Who will be your customer? Who will buy it?
Sir, we can say my project will buy a vehicle owner.
Okay, so you can approach the government also or RTO department also,
Yes, sir.
where government will make it mandatory to use that electronic device in the government vehicles. So, all the best and try to develop the prototype first and try to add a few more features what I am thinking of. So, and based on that, I think you can develop some innovative product. And,
Okay.
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Imran. Now, last idea from Prakash Kumar. Prakash, please unmute yourself and share this.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. My idea is, sir, air pollution monitoring system for vehicle using IoT, sir.
Okay.
There air pollution monitoring system for vehicle using IoT, in which sensor detect in the pollution level and sensor data is sent to IFTTT software. Then IFTTT gives data to Google Sheet of authorized camera is used to detect vehicle causing pollution. So in this, at every square MQ135 sensor will be detect the quality of air, real-time tracking of data will take place using IoT. If pollution is found, then camera will track the vehicles causing pollution and challan will be prepared for them.
Is it not in use right now? This kind of system, I think, is being used by RTO department already.
Yes, sir. But sir, camera is not used for challan.
No, nowadays what the cops are doing, they are taking a picture of your number plate, right?
Yes, sir.
If you are violating the traffic rules, and then automatically the app is going to develop the challan, and that challan is being sent to your house. So it is already there. So what is innovative in this app? What is innovative in your app? Would you please tell me? Prakash, are you listening to me? Dr. Sonu, I think the candidate has left, I think. Prakash?
Hope so he left from the meeting.
Right, I think so.
No, sir.
Prakash, are you listening to me?
Yes, sir.
My question to you is, how is your product innovative and different from the presently existing challan system?
सर सर जहाँ चौराहा होता है सर वहाँ पे सर गाड़ी चलती है सर, और सर जैसे क्या होता है कि सर बहुत सारी गाड़ी सर मतलब एक्स्ट्रा सर पॉल्यूशन देती है सर, तो इससे क्या करेंगे सर कि हम वहाँ पे लगाएंगे सर अपना प्रोजेक्टर, और सर जो गाड़ी मतलब एक्स्ट्रा पॉल्यूशन करेगी तो सर उसका नंबर हम लोग डिटेक्ट करके सर उसके नंबर सर उसका हम लोग डेटा निकाल के और IF के पास भेजेंगे सर, वो निकालेगा उसका पूरा बायोडाटा सर, और सर फिर उसके पास वो चालान भेज देगा सर, वो काट के सर
Pollution,
ऑटोमेटिकली।
how will you detect the pollution? Where will you put that device? आप लगाएंगे कहाँ पे उस डिवाइस को यदि pollution?
सर जहाँ चौराहा होता है सर उसका इस सर हम वहाँ कर सकते हैं सर।
वहाँ पे वो लगेगा चौराहे पे?
यस सर।
वहां से वो पोल्यूशन को डिटेक्ट करेगा लेवल को?
यस सर, गाड़ी को जैसे सर गाड़ी जितना मतलब पोल्यूशन देगा सर उसको वो डिटेक्ट करेगा सर, और फिर उसको चालान काट देगा सर उसको।
ठीक है, इट्स अ गुड आइडिया, एंड ट्राई टू डेवलप द प्रोटोटाइप and then register your company, and this is innovative idea. Very good. Thank you, Prakash.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Thank you very much for presenting your idea.
Yes.
So Vijay sir, any more idea have to present? Vijay Thote sir. Vijay sir, have any more ideas to present?
No, sir. No idea.
Shall we proceed next?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Next, proceed to next.
Students, any kind of questions you have, you would like to ask from sir?
Yes, sir.
Any questions you would like to ask?
यस सर। सर जैसा कि सर अगर सर हम लोग का सर ये आइडिया मतलब सर आगे बढ़ रहा है तो सर इसको हम लोग आगे कैसे लेके जा सकते हैं सर, मतलब कि कैसे कैसे क्या करेंगे सर कि मतलब हम लोग का आइडिया आगे बढ़ेगा सर?
देखिए, मैं ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन कर चुका हूँ। पहले आप प्रोटोटाइप डेवलप करिए, राइट?
ओके सर।
प्रोटोटाइप डेवलप करने के बाद जो है कस्टमर वगैरह से फीडबैक लीजिए, अपने कॉलेज में स्टूडेंट से ले लीजिए, फैकल्टी से ले लीजिए कि आपका प्रोडक्ट उनको यूज करने के लिए दीजिए और उनको करने दीजिए यूज, और फीडबैक कलेक्ट कीजिए कुछ दिन बाद कि कैसा लग रहा है उनको यूज करके।
यस सर।
और रियल टाइम कंडीशंस में भी उसको चेक करिए, और जब सब चीज ठीक होती है तो उसके बाद आप अपना जो ओरिजिनल प्रोडक्ट है उसको रेडी करिए, यानी जो आपका प्रोटोटाइप है उसी को आप चेंज कर देंगे अपने प्रोडक्ट में, और उसके लिए फिर आप जो है कंपनी अपने आइडिया को लेके, मैंने आपको बताया इनक्यूबेटर्स हैं जगह जगह, आपके यहाँ भी हैं भोपाल में MANIT भोपाल के अंदर भी शायद इंक्यूबेटर चलता है।
Yes, sir.
तो आप अपने आइडिया को लेके इंक्यूबेटर को अप्रोच कीजिए और उनका जो टीम मेंबर्स हैं उनके सामने प्रेजेंट कीजिएगा अपने आइडिया को कि सर हमने ये किया है, और प्रोटोटाइप भी लेके जाइएगा कि सर ये हमने वैलिडेट किया है इससे और ये हमारा सही निकला है। तो
Yes, sir.
उसके बाद जो है इंक्यूबेटर अपनी एप्लीकेशन रिलीज करते हैं, साल में शायद 2 बार या 1 बार होता है। तो जब वो रिलीज करेंगे तो आप उसमें अप्लाई कीजिएगा, एलिजिबिलिटी होती है यदि आपकी, और
Yes,
उसके बाद डेफिनेटली आपको वहां पे कोवर्किंग स्पेस मिल जाता है। जैसे हमारे यहाँ जो इंक्यूबेटर है वहाँ यहाँ पे हम लोग 3000 रुपीज लेते हैं रूम रेंट का, जो ऑफिस स्पेस हमने दे रखा है कंपनीज को, जो कि मार्केट में 8 या 10 हजार रुपए रेंट है। यहाँ 3000 पे हमने ऑफिस स्पेस दिए हुए हैं, मेंटरिंग सपोर्ट मिल रही है, और हमने अभी 50,000 का जो है सीड फंडिंग सपोर्ट भी हम एक्सटेंड करने वाले हैं प्रेजेंटेशंस के बाद, कि जो भी इनोवेटिव और क्रिएटिव आइडिया होगा। और उसमें कोई इक्विटी स्टेक नहीं होता है इंक्यूबेटर में कि हम 8% आपसे प्रॉफिट लेंगे जैसे कि एक्सेलरेटर्स में होता है। और आप इंक्यूबेटर में जब एक बार ज्वाइन कर लेंगे, ऑफिस मिल जाएगा आपको, वहां पे एंजल इन्वेस्टर्स की लिस्ट होती है उनके पास, वेंचर कैपिटलिस्ट की, जो आपको आपके फील्ड के हिसाब से वो प्रोवाइड कर देंगे। फिर आपका एक दिन प्रेजेंटेशन रखा जाएगा इन्वेस्टर्स के सामने, वो 5 से 10 लाख रुपए आसानी से दे देते हैं यदि कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट बहुत क्रिएटिव है आपका। तो और वो आपसे एक्सपेक्ट नहीं करते कि कोई आप उनसे रेवेन्यू जनरेट करके दो उनको, बट वो कहते हैं कि भाई जो है इनोवेटिव होना चाहिए वो। तो ये रिच पीपल होते हैं, ऐसे लोग जो एंजल इन्वेस्टर्स होते हैं, जो अपने बिजनेस को एक्सपैंड करने के लिए रिसर्च पे काम करवाते हैं। वो कहते हैं कि भाई आपके इस प्रोडक्ट के 1000 आइटम्स सेम प्रोडक्ट में डेवलप करूंगा और बेचूंगा मार्केट में, आप इसको इनोवेट करते जाओ। तो वो इनोवेशन के लिए भी आपको पैसे दे देंगे आराम से, और आप कंपनी को सक्सेसफुली रन कर सकते हैं। इन केस आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है प्रकाश, मैंने अपना नंबर ऑलरेडी चैट बॉक्स में डाला हुआ है, आप मुझसे पर्सनल लेवल पे भी बात कर सकते हैं, और मैं आपको सारा और भी डिटेल्स में बता दूंगा क्या क्या चीजें करनी है आपको।
Yes, sir.
ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I would like to add more, sir, कि
Yes.
अपने इंस्टीट्यूट में we have R&D सेल, उस
Okay.
R&D सेल में आप अपने इनोवेशंस को, आइडियाज को लेके जाइए। वहां पर जो एक्सपर्ट्स फैकल्टी बैठे हुए हैं, आप उनके साथ में डिस्कशन कीजिए। डिस्कशन करने के बाद उसको प्रोटोटाइप में इम्प्लीमेंट करने की कोशिश कीजिए। जैसे ही प्रोटोटाइप में इम्प्लीमेंट हो जाता है, कॉलेज अपने खर्च पे 10,000 सीड फंडिंग के साथ में आपका कंपनी रजिस्टर करने के लिए तैयार है। उसके बाद वेंचर कैपिटलिस्ट भी प्रोवाइड करने के लिए तैयार है। आप तो बस अपने आइडियाज को आगे लेके आओ जो आपके प्रोटोटाइप में कन्वर्ट हो सके। उसकी फिजिबिलिटी चेक कर लो, उसकी यूजेबिलिटी चेक कर लो, फाइनली इम्प्लीकेबिलिटी भी चेक कर लो कि ये प्रॉपर इम्प्लीमेंटेबल है कि नहीं है। उसके बाद डेफिनेटली R&D सेल से मिलकर आप बात करो। हमारा जो इंक्यूबेशन सेल है कहीं ना कहीं R&D सेल में आता है, और उसके साथ में हम लोग जब आगे मिलकर काम करेंगे। आज भी सर मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ कि AIC R&D के साथ में वी आर डूइंग प्रोग्राम फॉर वेंचर कैपिटलिस्ट। तो डेफिनेट अपने स्टूडेंट्स कुछ पार्टिसिपेट भी कर रहे हैं, और मैं यही बोलूंगा कि आपको कभी भी इशूज है कोई भी लर्निंग से रिलेटेड, डेफिनेटली मुझसे मिलिए, विजय धोते सर से मिलिए, हम लोग आपको हेल्प करेंगे। अपनी ये एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप डेवलपमेंट सेल है, IAS फाउंडेशन फॉर इंक्यूबेशन एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप सेल है, आप वहाँ आइए, आपको सजेस्ट करते हैं, हेल्प करते हैं। ठीक है, थैंक यू सो मच सर।
Thank you sir, thank you Dr. Sonulal, thank you.
So any more questions, students?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. So much time matlab we have taken. Sir, it was really an engrossing and fruitful session for participants. I hope all our students or participants have enjoyed this immense learning and informative session and learned kind guidance of you, sir. Thank you
Thank you,
so much,
Dr.
sir.
Lal, for giving me an opportunity to express my views on today's topic on prototyping and linkage with innovation ambassadors. I hope the session was both informative and enriching.
Definitely,
for
sir. Your
students
session was
community.
quite wonderful, informative, and insightful, sir. And
Thank you very much,
definitely,
and I am ready to help your students anytime. They can approach me, sir. Thank you very much.
thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Shall I leave now, sir?
Please, sir. Please, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Ji.
Can I leave, sir?
Friends, please leave.